I keep getting the same question over and over again, and that is the San Jose, California market still dropping? Well, today we are going to be answering that question and talk a little bit more about some of the best opportunities that we can find in San Jose right now. So, my name is Christa Nielsen with Real Broker. Welcome to my channel, and let's dive right in. So, the first thing that I want to do is I want to jump into my favorite thing, and that is the data. So as you can see here, there's a little bit of a graph. It shows what the average days on market are and the sales to list price ratio. So what we're going to do is look at November 2022 data, but also backtrack just 1 month prior to that to see how things are changing month over month. As you may or may not know, things have drastically changed since April, and we are starting to see or have seen a little bit of a slowdown. So the question is if this is seasonal, if this is what we're going to continue seeing, and looking at October versus November data is really going to help us understand what to expect in the future. So as you can see on this graph, things have drastically dropped as far as the sales to list price ratio, and the days to sell on average have increased. You'll hear the term days on market, DOM, and days to sell kind of just interchangeably. So days to sell basically means from the moment it goes on the market to when it goes into contract. So what I like to do even more so is look at the actual data. So as you can see here, November 2022, homes were selling for 99.1% of their list price in San Jose. Now, this is looking at only single family homes. We'll do condos and townhomes shortly. The average days to sell is 28. So it's tracking to be exactly the same as what it was in October. That's a very good sign. What we want to avoid is that number drastically going up month over month. So as you can see, if we look back to May, June, it's slowly starting to increase. And then July, we got hit by a huge change in the days to sell. And we saw a huge drop in the sales to list price ratio. So that percentage is how much the home was listed for versus how much it actually sold for. Now I'm going to jump over to the number of homes for sale versus sold. Again, in the month of November, there were 418 active homes on the market, and there were 278 homes sold. Now, there were less homes on the market in the month of November than there were in October. If you look, it starts really changing. In April, you start seeing a huge number of homes that are still active, and that continues time over time. This is starting to drop as far as the active number of sales, or I should say active number of homes on the market. However, the active sales is really what we want to look at. We know that seasonally, the number of homes that go on the market is significantly lower in winter months. So this doesn't come as too much of a surprise to me. Now, if you look at the active, I should say the number of sales, not the active homes, we have significantly less the month of November than we did in October. Now, again, seasonally, this is somewhat expected, but I want to keep an eye on this number as we go forward. If you look back to March, April, peak of the season, these numbers are significantly high compared to what we're looking at now. We're basically at half of the sales that we saw in the spring. Now, the next thing that I want to look at is sales prices over time. So this is a big one. As you can see, April and May were the peak, maybe a little bit in March as well, but we are about $500,000 below the peak that we saw in the summer. So the good news is that this was a very small segmented amount of time, but this might be one of the first years that we see a drop in overall home values that we've seen in a very long time historically. So right now in November, we don't want to look at December yet because it's not a complete month, but in November, the average sales price was $1,474,000, which is still dropping from 1.5 just the month prior. So again, there's less sales to pull from, so less data that we actually have, but these are the numbers that we want to keep an eye on. I predict that this is going to be a very similar number in the month of December, because on average, December is one of the slowest months in real estate. There's not as much inventory. There's less buyers that are actively buying during the holidays. Now we're going to jump over and look at the condos and townhomes. So same idea as what we just looked at, except these are condos and townhomes. So again, same graph, same look. The days on market or the days to sell are a little bit longer, but we see that big arc and it comes down and falls to nearly the lowest we've seen in years. So sales to list price ratio is at the lowest we've seen over the last 12 months. Looking at the actual data, this is a significant drop again for the sales to list price ratio. In October, we saw over 100%. So 100.5% of the list price the home was selling for, whereas November, 99.5% of the list price. This is still a very healthy number, but something to keep in mind if you're looking to sell your home and how to strategize on the list price. Now, days to sell on average are 38. That's a significant jump in the condo and townhome space from October to November. Again, something to consider, and also massive opportunity on the buying side. Now let's jump over to the number of homes for sale versus sold. So in October, we saw 253 active condos and townhomes on the market, and there were 150 sales, whereas in November, 199 condos and townhomes and 109 sales. So a 41 home decrease between months on the actual sales. We did also see a decent decrease in the active homes on the market. And last thing to look at on this, sale prices over time. Again, we're still seeing a drop. It's going a little bit back and forth in that 700,000 to 800,000 range. As you can see in April, which was the peak, 958,000 was the average, whereas now we are looking at 801,000. So still a significant drop and something to consider, even with the heightened interest rates that we want to watch as we're going forward. This is an incredible price point. We know that prices are going to continue to go up just as a slower rate. I think we're getting close to the floor on the pricing. So a lot of people say the term marry the house, date the rate. I understand the concept, but I never, ever would say to buy a home with the anticipation that the interest rates are going down. This is something you want to avoid. More than anything else, you want to look for the home that's the most affordable to you. If you can afford the payment with the heightened interest rates, it is a great time to buy. If you are anticipating that the interest rates are going to go down and you're pushing it on the affordability of a home right now, you may want to look at a lower price point and not get into a risk category of maybe not being able to afford the payments going forward. Do I think that interest rates are going to drop? Absolutely. When are they going to drop? I don't know. I honestly do not see them going down to the interest rates that we were seeing in 2021 and 2022. I think that they're going to stay in the 4 to 5 range in a healthy way. Now let's look over to see one of my favorite things, which is the opportunities that are out there right now. Now, what I did was I looked at what homes had a price decrease over the last 2 weeks. This is an exercise that I do with my clients all the time, because what we want to do is we want to find where the decreases are happening and how to take advantage of that opportunity. The homes that haven't had a decrease in the last 2 weeks, either are in two situations. They're about to reduce again, or they're pretty stuck on that number that they have it listed for. I think every home has an opportunity, but when I looked at this, I wanted to have a decent list to give you. 43 homes is a good amount of homes to look through and see what the price decreases are. When I actually pulled this information originally, there were 265 homes on the list of what's been decreased. And that's out of about 450 homes that are actively on the market. So opportunity is 100% out there. So let's just pick a few. And these homes, I'm going from a range of condos and townhomes to single families. So they're all over the map here. And San Jose is a very, very large area, and it's over 1 million people. So this isn't going to be specific to a certain area of San Jose. If you're thinking about moving to San Jose and want to know the bits and pieces of what location to look at and what types of homes are where, definitely let me know in the comments. So this home, for example, is a 2-bedroom, 3-bath, which is actually technically 2.5 bathrooms, 1,800 square feet. It is a condominium. So the list price originally was $1,040,000. It had a decrease on December 19th, and it's now listed for $945,000. So these are really good pieces of information to look at when you're trying to negotiate or looking for sellers' credits. The homes that have been sitting on the market the longest are going to be the ones that have the most opportunity to negotiate. So we're just going to quickly look through. Seems like a very straightforward condominium. 1,800 square feet is a pretty good size for a condo, so that's great. Has a little bit of a peekaboo through the kitchen, which is nice. It makes it feel a little bit more open. You always want to double check on the HOA. This one, for example, is $445 a month. Okay, so let's go back and look at a couple others. So let's look in a little bit of the mid-range price point. This home is a single family. It's listed for $1.499. This is a pretty significant price drop. It was dropped on 12/13. It's been on the market since November, which tells me there's massive opportunity here. It's a 1,900 square foot home. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. There's no HOA in this community, which is fantastic. Has solar, which is also great. And it looks to be a beautiful home. So this is something you really want to keep in mind, especially if you're just trying to get into owning real estate. This is something you really want to look for in the opportunity range. If you can get a home for significantly less than what they listed it for, I'm hearing people talk right now of having appraisals come in $100,000 to $150,000 over the value that they actually purchased the home for. This is the polar opposite of what we saw 6 to 8 months ago. So we are in a really, really good place as far as the opportunity to purchase a home compared to the prices that people were paid just a few months ago. Let's go back and look at just one more home as an example. I'm going up in price. Let's go into the nearly $3 million range. So this home is 3,886,000 square feet. It is an 11,000 square foot lot, which is a great size. It was built in the 70s. It had a price drop on December 9th. It's been on the market since October. Again, this is a huge opportunity for someone looking to purchase a home. Now, looking at a few of the photos, it looks like a great space. Needs a little bit of updating, but it looks to be in beautiful condition. I like to scroll through to actually see what the backyard looks like as well. Here we go. Looks like it might be turf, a little hard to tell in the pictures. Fully finished garage, which is incredible, and it's a 3-car garage, which is great. So this is an awesome opportunity. It's had nearly a $400,000 price drop, so it is out for the taking. Okay, so Let me pop back in here. That's a little bit of what the market looks like and what opportunities are out there right now in San Jose, California. If you like this content and want to see more of it, make sure you tune in to some other videos that I have here that are all about the San Jose and Silicon Valley area. If you want to see more of my content, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Once again, my name is Christa Nielsen with Real Broker, and